I need some lights.
Good morning. Listen, welcome to the podcast, the BBQ podcast, your favorite podcast, featuring hashtag everything is a hashtag.
That's what's
Featuring
up,
none other than, of course, you got your boy B, the CEO at the top. We got Coach A. We got Nick, Mr.
The legend.
Oh, Nick the legend. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
Oh, he know about it too.
Nah, he don't know about it.
Nah, I know now. You got dog.
You don't know.
We got Mr. Mike Unhinged / Mr. The You, Mr. You better get yourself right, Mr. I got a lot of sense because then we got myself
unlucky.
Mr. Fence.
That's his word.
If you want to call him that.
That's his words, not mine.
Oh, okay. We got myself and shouts out to Uncle Pudge, shouts out to Cree, shouts out to Nate the Great. They are not here at this moment. But listen, we live. And while we waiting for everybody to come in, fellas, let's go ahead and do this. Mental health check. So if you're watching, go ahead and type it in the comments as we talk about it.
You didn't get the intro in.
No, I got an order, sir. B,
what's up?
Mental health check. Where you at, brother?
Man, 1 to 10. I'm on a 10, man. Y'all know me. It's another opportunity, man. It's great to be up and about. It's great that God gave me another day. The week was great. I'm starting a new position on Monday.
More money?
So I'm great. More money, yes, sir.
Money.
Yes, sir.
Let me get a discount.
You ain't tell me that yesterday.
I told you that a couple weeks ago. Remember when you called me and you was talking about your dude on your job? I said I'm starting a new position too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
I told you. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna fall back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, fall back. But I'm doing good, man. Mental health check. I'm good.
Coach 8.
I'm at a 10, man. You know how it is. God woke me up this morning. Woo-hoo. Everybody doing well.
Cardi B.
Keeping it 100. They're going to pat that thing down, man.
I gotta get my Steve Harvey on.
Nick the legend.
We got that Steve Harvey going today.
Now I'm doing all right. I'm doing great. I woke up this morning. My cousin won his football game last night. Go Tigers. Other than that,
What number is he?
33.
33.
What's your mental health check number though?
I'm at 10.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm at 100.
He said,
I'm on 1,000. I'm up there.
1,000.
Hey, it's up.
Yeah.
All the way up.
Moving on to my favorite person on the podcast.
Half Steve Harvey, half Thug. White T Thug.
I'll talk about the white tee now. Oh, I'm at a 7 because Sean McVay lied to my face. This Thursday, raggedy bastard. Yeah, I ain't forgiving that. I'm at a 7 right now. Him and Cam Akers lied straight to my face.
It's one game, man. One game.
I don't care.
They should have made a statement though.
Bro, legit was like, oh, we're gonna ride him 80% of the plays. Game over. He got 3 carries for 0 yards. Like, come on, man.
And myself, listen, I'm a 9.
Like
I'm a 9.5. I'm great. No complaints. My babies are doing good. My family doing good. Shoot, we got somebody that just entered the studio. Hold on before we move on, because I was about to move on. Who was that into the studio?
I switched computers.
Mr. Unhinged. I ain't doing some unhinged stuff.
But listen, we about to go ahead and hit the intro. So while we hit that, please do us a favor. If you love us, you like us, you kind of like us, you like us a lot, like a lot with a cherry on top. Go ahead and share. You watch it on YouTube, hit that share button, share it for us, spread the word.
Dab.
I ain't mad if you love it. Ain't nobody ever take this moment from me. So nigga, while I got it, the fuck it, it's all good. It's all good. Straight up, it's all good. Tell them it's all good. Tell them I ain't mad if they hating on me. You know I ain't mad if you love it. Ain't nobody ever take this moment from me. So nigga, while I got it, the fuck it, it's all good.
It's
Don't
all
ever let
good.
nobody take this moment from you.
Nice.
Hey,
I like the
It's
new,
all good, man. It's
new
all
intro.
good.
It's nice.
it's amazing when we play the intro and you see everybody in the green room vibing, dancing, yeah, like
Everybody was bouncing,
man.
Hey,
that's
shout
a
out,
great
shout out to
thing.
Tony Ocha, man. Shout out to Tony. We gotta get some more music from Tony Ocha.
Yeah,
We gotta
for
get some
sure.
more music from you.
A quick 16, huh?
Quick
He
16.
he ain't say nothing.
Hey, I want slide remix.
You're right.
The slide remix.
But listen, man, listen to everybody. I see we starting to get some family members come in to check us out. So whoever you are, good morning. Let's look at these comments real quick. Khalesia, hot Khalesia. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yep.
Good morning, Khalesia.
Good morning. Love to sing.
Drop your mental health check,
morning.
Khalesia, when you get a
Good
chance.
morning to you. We need to come up with. Hey, we need a good morning song, dog.
That boy can sing.
We need a good morning song, B.
Yeah, we do need a good morning song, man. Hey, it's more viewers out there, man. Y'all tap in and talk to us a little bit. We finna get in tune. Y'all tap in with us.
We want to hear from y'all. Y'all make the show fun. Y'all make the show fun.
Y'all make us fun for. It's fun that we get on here and talk as brothers, but when y'all chime in, man, it's amazing.
Nah, but listen. Amazing. Listen, moving on. We getting ready to get the breaking news, the most important news with your very own Coach A. But before we do that, we got to give a shout out to Coach A and Impact, which would be sponsored by Impact, the Impact Station. What is impact.com, Coach?
For Impact.
Impact.com.
Number
Listen,
4. That's the radio station.
I thought it was sponsored by Rapid Returns.
We got more than one sponsor, man.
Yeah, like we got just one sponsor.
Yeah.
Hey, we live, bro. What you mean?
We live, baby.
Trying to limit us. The one
sponsor.
Live. We got 2 sponsors. Yeah, it's better than no sponsors. We got 2 sponsors.
Hey, but listen, the Impact show last night was amazing.
Hey, man,
if you missed it,
was nice. Yeah, you better check it out.
Awesome podcast last night.
I love
it.
If you plan on getting married, if you're dating, whatever it is, if you want to keep a healthy relationship, go check it out. I'm telling you.
Here we go.
Okay. Hey, what's up, Coach? There you go. Hey, I had to do this to y'all.
Morning is upon us.
Yes, sir. If you standing up, sit your butt down. This Coach A. I got some stuff for you. All right, check this out. And the dogs and cats thought they had it bad. What about these donkeys over here in Nigeria? Smuggling, right? In July, Nigeria Customs seized $116,000 worth of donkey skins being smuggled into the country from neighboring Nigeria. Nigeria is trying to curb the export of donkey skins, which has drastically diminished the country's population of the work animal, particularly in the north. Nigeria's senators in 2021 proposed to ban the killing of donkeys and export of their skins. Man, cats and dogs think they got it bad. How about this restaurant apologizes for this appalling 9/11 tribute menu? A country club in Virginia has apologized for what critics called a stunningly insensitive commemoration of the 9/11 attacks, a special 9/11 menu that included dishes like the first responders flatbread. That sound good. 9/11 oysters and the 2977 chowder, and apparent reference to the number of people killed in the attacks. Boy, people just sensitive, man. It sounds like a good menu. Don't it sound like a good menu?
Golly.
On a serious note, an Illinois criminal justice reform law will do away with the cash bail system on January 1st, 2023, which means suspects charged with certain felonies, including second-degree murder, aggravated battery, and arson, will be released without bail. Approximately 400 criminal defendants will be released back into your community. Boy, it's finna be off the chain. That is it for your news with Coach A. Holla at your boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, listen, moving on. This is gonna be a great show.
Hey, before you stop, Alicia
yes,
put a mental health check in the comments.
Oh, sorry. Alicia say that she is A100. She didn't get Kalicia.
I'm sorry if I missaid that, Kalicia. I'm sorry.
She said she A100. She 100%. She say it's not a worry in the world for her.
That's what's up. Love to hear it.
What's up?
But listen, today.
Do any of y'all know her? Do y'all know her?
Yeah, that's the one that be on Jody podcast with the black man, the Hello Black Man. Shout out to the Hello Black Man podcast.
Yeah. Shouts out. Okay.
Yeah.
You putting up with
her and her husband cool though.
Yeah, they is cool. They're cool as heck.
Yeah, but listen, we finna go a little deep on y'all today, and we gonna dig into something that I think everybody probably heard of. It's something called forgiveness. Everybody heard of that?
I think we dabbled in it a little bit.
Oh, she put on there. It's actually
Kalisha. I like that.
Kalisha. Oh,
she set us straight real quick. We saw her.
Stokes should have set us straight.
Yeah, for real.
He ain't say nothing, right?
He ain't say nothing. Because he didn't know it the right way neither. That's why.
That's why.
We practicing. Oh, he called her
Aunt Bill. She kind of do look like Aunt Bill, though.
You said what I said. I went all right, Uncle Phil.
Oh yeah, I remember you said that on the podcast. That was funny.
But listen, forgiveness. So let's start off with this, and we're gonna go around the board, starting with Coach A, making our way on down. What does forgiveness mean?
Forgiveness.
What does it mean to forgive?
Right. Well, to me, it means to emotionally let whatever that offense was go. It doesn't, you don't have to necessarily let it go as far as, giving a person another chance in specific things, but just letting it go emotionally. That means whenever you think about that person or you think about that situation, you no longer hold or harbor negative feelings towards it. That's what it mean to me, dog.
B.
Hey, I kind of piggyback off of that too. I mean, emotionally letting go to something that potentially has happened to you, a certain situation. Stress, because forgiveness can bring along stress. Releasing stress off your body, that weird vibe and tension off of your soul and mind. So, kind of piggybacking off of what Coach said is also.
The legendary, the legend.
Forgiveness is tough. It's tough to forgive, even when you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
But other than that, it is letting go of anybody and anything that done wrong with you, putting it in the past, forgetting about it, and moving forward.
And Maurice Ball, man, thank you for the comment, brother. What it means to forgive to me. If you would have asked me this about 5-6 years ago, my answer would have been similar to Nick's. It would have been something very hard and something I was probably been like, yeah, nah, I'm good off that, bro. I would say for me, it's strength. To forgive is strength. It's obedience. And it's one of the actions of love to me. That's what I would say forgiveness mean to me.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess it's my turn.
Yes, sir.
I'm ready to hear this one.
I can tell by the smirk.
Forgiveness is no longer being affected mentally, emotionally, or even spiritually by the transgressions of somebody else that might have done you any type of way. Being able to look at that situation and just completely walk away with no feeling.
What you read? Look, there you go. He reading something.
Hey, what you
Hey, Jimbo, you told the people he has some sense, right?
He got too much sense, bro.
That's what forgiveness.
Beautiful.
You ask me what forgiveness means to me. That's what forgiveness is. You can like look at that situation, and what Coach A said was 1,000% right. You do not have to allow somebody back in your life, you know what I'm saying, just because you forgave them. So that's what it means to me.
Okay, Mike. Man, Mr. Impact 2.0. God, hey, what?
Hey, I turn on that impact from time to time.
I see that.
Oh, I got one.
Hello, somebody.
Marie say it allows you not to be held hostage to an incident and a time frame revealing the incident over and over and over. Okay,
that's big. Before we run past that, that's big. I like that. So, because obviously, when you're being held hostage, it's emotionally, and people take those baggage into other relationships and stuff like that. Being held hostage, like if somebody abused you or if somebody hurt you or did something in some type of way in the past, and you walk around every time you think or see that person, it just affects you, man. So I definitely agree with that.
Dang, I hear you, brother. That had to be.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about
his
that
comment
a little bit too. Yeah, we're gonna talk about forgiveness and what you've had to forgive. So that's a big one there, Maurice, man. Yeah, that's a tough one. Nick said it earlier. Forgiveness is tough, and that's a tough one.
So now that's a great segue into the. What's up, Nick?
No, I was about to say, if Mr. Ball got time to jump on.
Oh, hey, Mr. Ball, cool as heck, man. Hey, shout out to Mr. Ball. I'm sorry, I'm gonna skirt. Shout out to Mr. Ball, man. If y'all saw him on Instagram, he bought his son a car, man, and that was so cool, man. His son was so happy. Shout out to his son. Happy birthday, belated birthday to your son, Mr. Ball, man. I saw that on Instagram. Sir. That was awesome.
So
we can definitely get him online. We can call him too if anybody got his number.
I'm about to put the link in here, but yeah, we can also call him. Yeah.
Okay, we got another comment here, Jimbo.
I bet that girl fine.
Well, go ahead and read it. I'm putting the link in the chat real quick.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'll go ahead and read it. It says, forgiveness is a part of health, mind, body, and soul. Unforgiveness creates sickness and disease when held for long periods of time. That's what's up. That's true, Kina. You got somebody on here that's trying to flirt with you. You better talk to your husband.
Like, oh, what she look like? And I was like, oh, that's his wife. I'm like, no,
that's his wife.
That's what I was like. Coach was like, oh, she probably fine. I was like, let me see. And I was like, oh, that's his wife. No,
you know, Stokes going to
Facebook
real quick.
Hey, you saw that face? You saw that face? When you know Stokes is intrigued, you be looking down, but you can see his eyes a certain way.
Hey,
got him.
And he got me, bro. I was sitting there looking like I was sitting there trying to hit up a ball, and then Coach A like she fine. And I was like, ooh.
Hey, Mike was getting ready to find her DMs real quick. Let me find out what she looked like real quick.
Hey, girl, you ever been on a podcast?
She'd have told you, yes, I have. Yes, I have.
No, but what Mr. Ball said, that's a great segue to the next question. How do I forgive? What are our thoughts on that?
How to forget?
When you say how do I forgive,
whoever want to start first.
When you say how do I forgive, man, I know with me, especially within the last 4-5 years, I had to use my faith to forgive. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it. I've been through a lot that I don't even talk about. A lot has happened to me that I don't even talk about that I've had to forgive for. So I have to use my faith. That's the only way I can forgive is using my faith and trusting in God that everything will be okay, and that my feelings and how I feel about a certain situation is going to be okay. How I can release that stress off of my heart. So I runs with faith, man.
That's really the only way anybody can forgive. I mean, people are going to give different scenarios or different things that they do in order to get over it or forgive them. But the bottom line is what you just said. It's all going to come back to that. Having faith that it's not going to happen again. Having faith that there's something good on the other end, and everything is working in our favor, and we don't have to bring all that stuff together. But there is specific things that we can do to help speed that process up, understanding how the mind works, like making sure you're talking to positive people. When you're communicating with brothers and sisters and people that are positive and lifting you up, that'll help you get past that situation as well, because it's really a mind and thought thing that you keep thinking and your perspective and stuff like that. So you have to make sure you surround yourself around good people that constantly lift you up. And then you have to always talk positive. Try to, whenever the negative thought comes in, you have to take control of it, send it out, and replace it with either good thoughts or good things. What's up, Mr. Maurice?
Hey, Mr. Maurice.
Hey, what up, fellas? How y'all
What's
doing?
up, Maurice, man? What's going on, bub?
Oh, man, I'm cooling.
If you want to go ahead and
hopefully y'all gentlemen are doing well this morning.
Yes, sir. We're doing amazing.
Doing good.
Hey, I appreciate the shout out to my son. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Ball, before we get you started, where you at mentally 1 to 10?
You mean across the board in life?
Across the board in life.
I say probably about an 8.5. I try to make sure that I maintain that mental peace, because I have not just my family dependent on me, but I go down. There's a whole lot of people. Let me not say that. Nope. It ain't about nobody else except me. I'm about an 8.5. Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So the question that we asked is how do I forgive? And with the situation that you put in the chat in the comments, how did you forgive?
Man,
that person?
Forgiveness for me was a process. So there's steps that you have to take. It's not something that is a right now kind of thing. Forgiveness is an event. You know what I'm saying? So you got to plan it as such. You got to look at it and say, okay, here's the offense, and how do I plan on moving beyond that? So I had to so the dude that murdered my dad, when he did that, I wasn't in a good place spiritually. So it was about revenge at that point. And what I say, you get locked into a time frame. I stopped going to the court case because it wouldn't allow me to heal, and it wouldn't allow me to move forward. It wouldn't allow me to process, because every day you got to go in and relive that situation over and over and over again. So I just completely walked away from it and let it go. And it wasn't until I met my mentor, and he was just like, yo, in order for you to get healthy, you're going to have to let that person go, because that person, whatever happened to him, but he's not losing no sleep because I got beef against him. You know what I mean? And so I had to take baby steps. I had to let go of the anger. I had to let go of the frustration. I had to let go of he took my dad. I had to let go of all that stuff, all the stuff that I was holding that was making me angry. I had to take baby steps. Then I had to celebrate those moments where I was like, oh, okay, I'm not as bothered anymore. So I can track my progress, because if you don't track your progress, then you have an easy way of slipping back into that space of unforgiveness. Now, the process took several years for me to get to a place of healthiness. Probably about 3 or 4 years actually, to really get to a space where it no longer bothered me. But I had to set some timelines. I didn't have contact with the person to be able to say, "Hey, man, I forgive you," but I had to let it go in my heart, and then I had to trust that God is God, because I had to look at my offenses towards God and how He offends me. I mean, how I offend Him. And in each of those, He forgives me without holding it over my head. So how could I hold something over somebody else's head when the God of the universe does not hold anything over my head?
That's good. That's deep.
real
So
talk.
is this guy that you said you never had a chance to communicate with him? Did he get life in prison?
He actually so I was 20 when it happened. He got 20. Actually, what I was going to do, I was going to shoot him in his hands and his kneecaps. And my cousin stopped me because it's like, "Yo, you're going to go to jail." So I didn't ride. I ain't do any of that. So he ended up getting 20 years. And then he got out, and then I got a notification that he was getting out. And I'm like, okay, good, the brother getting out, you know? So at that point, I don't even know where he's at. I don't even know what he looked like. So if he rolled up on me right now, I would have no idea who he is, because once I detached and really started moving forward with my life, I put it where it needed to be put at. So I don't know what he's doing or where he's at, or anything like that. And so when I see forgiveness, this is not something that I read in a book. This is not something that it ain't about no relationship. This was something that I had to truly process through, and I understand that this is what keep people locked and not moving forward, because they're not able to forgive. And it goes beyond like dating relationships. I'm talking about cats ain't able to forgive their dad who walked out on them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
This is just a whole process. When you can get to this space and really walk in forgiveness, you are truly a healthy person.
Yeah. And that's and one more thing, that your situation is quite difficult, and is, we appreciate you sharing that and your strength, because when you in a situation where you feel like you're right, somebody done something and you feel like you really have justification for how you're feeling or what you want to do, and in situations like that, versus two people doing something, getting caught up in somebody making a mistake, versus somebody doing, and you were like, you know what, this dude really made me upset. I feel like I have the right to be this mad or to be this angry. And it hurts a lot of people. It definitely hurts a lot of people. And just like you mentioned, it also affects us physically as well, because stress sits in the cells, and it keeps us from moving forward. So, this is a big lesson that people definitely need to realize, because 90% of our diseases and sicknesses comes from stress in the body.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that the correlation to a lot of that in some people's cases is forgiveness, because they didn't let it go. So they're actually killing themselves slowly.
For sure. That is 100% accurate.
So Mike, go ahead and follow up with your part of how do I forgive?
I think you just have to come to a point of that person doesn't mean you any good, and understand that, you know what, I can't hold you forever accountable for your lack of, being a good person. So therefore, I'm going to remove you out of my life and just kind of step past that, because like Coach A and Mr. Ball said, it's like I can't keep going in and out with myself, you know what I'm saying, all because you did some stuff that wasn't, you know what I'm saying, in my book fitting for me. Because I think is, and something that my grandpa taught me a long time ago is, he said he doesn't accept I'm sorry's from grown men. He said, when you get to a certain age, you did what you did, you meant what you did, you knew exactly what you was doing when you did it. So I don't accept your apology. I'm gonna just remove you out of my life. And therefore that puts me in a place where it's just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna step aside to that and just let it go, because I'm not gonna consistently get mad. I'm not gonna consistently, because you know how you get that feeling in your chest, your heart start beating fast because you want to react. So I'm just gonna sidestep that, because the more I sidestep it, you know what I'm saying, the more I feel like more I best blessings or whatever is gonna come my way. You know what I'm saying? It's me having, you know, that small little smidget of like growth and just doing better as a person. So, you know.
So, but before I go, and then Nick, you could go after me. I
Did
got
y'all
a
hear
question
Jody
for
say
you,
blessings?
Mike. You could just give me a yes or no.
It's a no.
And we could talk. We could tackle it
It's
later.
no.
It's a no. I
It's
ain't
a
gotta
no.
ask you. No.
Yeah, it's a no.
Okay.
I told you I seen that nigga at the gun show, and I was just like, boy, if we went in front of all these white people and police, I would have slid right in the shit right in the middle of this stuff place.
He contradicted his stuff.
Okay. All right. Listen. We still working. Work in progress. That's what we gonna call it.
It's
Hey, real quick
though.
though, real
It's
quick.
improvement.
It is forgive, and forget is in the Bible.
It
God
is.
does. He does.
Oh,
He,
God
he
does.
casts,
Yeah.
He casts our sins or iniquities into the sea of forgetfulness. I think it is, or something like that. So from God's standpoint, he don't even remember. It's like completely blotted out. Like you ain't did nothing. And obviously that's how we should be towards the other person. Obviously we can, deal with him a certain way, but he's ultimately supreme. When he looks at us, it's like we're a perfect person. We never did anything wrong in the first place. So that's huge.
Right. Yeah, I think a big part of me is as I want to get to a point where I don't even remember why I'm not even rocking with you no more. Like, what you did to piss me? Oh, yeah, that. I want to get to that point where I don't even remember.
Look at Nick.
But you know one of the hardest parts of that is that normally forgiveness is attached to emotions.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when they're attached to emotions, anytime you see, feel, or come across anything that look, smell, touch, or anything similar to it, it brings up the emotion. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to it's hard when you got to detach the emotion from it. And when you can detach the emotion from it, then you should be able to engage it a little better. But as long as emotions in there, and it's a co-pilot, it's going to be very difficult.
So on my end for that question, I'm gonna answer it the best way that I can. And I told the story a few times on the podcast, but it was hard for me to forgive. But it's, if you know my mom, if you know my mother, Felicia Strong, you can do the most craziest thing and she will forgive you at that moment. And if she will give you the shirt off her back, she'll tell you, I forgive you. And she would literally forgive you and move on and never bring it back up again and treat you as that. And she was a mighty woman of God. And she taught me, and I serve and follow Yeshua, Jesus as well. But when she passed, that day I had some unforgiveness in my heart towards a few people. And like literally at that day, I'll never forget, I was standing out in front of my yard speaking to a family member, and they were talking about a few situations where I was wrong, and I told them, man, like it was like a surreal moment. I can't tell you what happened. It's just like something clicked in me, and at that moment I was able to talk about these people without feeling a certain type of way. And I was like, I forgive them. We can move on. And literally, if they ever need anything, I help them. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that if I'm able to help them, I got them. And it was no emotion, nothing attached to it. It was genuine from the heart. And that's what my mom was. That's the embodiment of what she was. And I thank God for, I would say, for allowing me to have that gift, that blessing that she walked around with on a daily basis. So Nick, what you got, Doc?
So let me hear the initial question again.
How do I forgive?
Oh, that's tough. For me, it is tough. Me forgiving is just one of those where I might just shake my head, put my head down, just move on. I rarely come out and say, I'm sorry or I forgive you. it's coming a whole lot better now just because I got family members like Jimbo, Brandon, and my wife. Like they show it. You know what I mean? When they say they sorry, they say they sorry and we move on. So I'm still, just looking at the way other grown men and women, show that they apologize. So it's just making me bit by bit, daily, day by day, just try walking, just like I say, my family and my brother's footsteps.
And Mr. Brooks, that comment that he put up, or I don't know if it's a he or she, might.
Chris.
That's Chris. Chris. Okay, Chris. Sorry, Chris. But like I like that. Walk through those emotions, control those emotions. That's what we're supposed to do in the first place. I like that. I like that comment. Okay, now we're going into another segment of it. Like, what does forgiveness look like in relationships? And the kind of relationships that we have on the docket is forgiveness between friendships, forgiveness between parents and children, forgiveness between husband and wife. Like, what does that look like? Who want to start out? Who want to tackle that?
I think they all look very different.
Yeah, absolutely.
They all look very different because, like, forgiveness with friends is just like it can depending on what it is. It could be something big, it could be something small. You know what I'm saying? And I think forgiveness with friends can be somewhat similar. I think forgiveness with friends can be easier because, like, as friends, you don't have to see each other every day. You don't have to talk to each other every day. Versus you're married to somebody, and you living with somebody. You know what I'm saying? And y'all have a issue. It's like, bro, I gotta see you every single time I'm home. And treatments. So it's probably a lot. It's probably a lot harder. You know what I'm saying? To forgive somebody you have to consistently see versus forgiving somebody that you don't see every day. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's levels to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I forgave B. You know what I'm saying? He talked bad about Josh Allen and then drafted him. You know what I'm saying? I forgave him for that. It was a little hard, but I forgave him for that. You know what I'm saying?
I did.
I forgive Nick for them early morning calls. You know what I'm saying? 7 o'clock in the morning, rise and grind. Bruh. I forgive him for that. You know what I'm saying?
So, go ahead.
Well, I think it's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, I guess the situation, whoever you dealing with, it's kind of levels to it to a certain point. So, you just gotta figure out who you're dealing with, and also like how much you know the person. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's different. So we all might say something, and in our head it came out as one way, but to another person it sounded another way. So it's like understanding the person that you talking to, knowing the person that you're talking to, and the relationship that you have with that person could kind of factor in like the factors of forgiveness for me. So it's all about like the familiarity with the people that you're dealing with, as far as like what kind of process you're gonna go through with forgiveness with them.
All right, so we're gonna go with B and then pass the ball.
Well, I think Jody's right. It is some certain type of levels to forgiveness as far as friendships, relationships with a spouse and your parents. I think it's big levels, and I've had to forgive in every single one of those levels. One that I can speak on, and maybe Nick can help me speak on it as well. At one point, we had to forgive Pops. You know what I mean? Well, they say we had to, but that's something that we chose to do. You know what I mean? It was a time period where he wasn't there. And I know I struggled with that a lot growing up, with him not physically being there. I shouldn't say he wasn't there. He wasn't physically there. But I had a conversation where we had to put it all on the table. You know what I'm saying? And I forgave him. You know what I'm saying? And the meaning of forgiveness is to forgive and to in my opinion, not even bring it back up. So I agree with Mike. There is levels to it. I've been in friendships where I've had to forgive as well. Not only because I wanted to make it right with that person, but making it right with myself, making it right with me and my inner person. Relationships, Lord knows I've had to forgive in that. So Mike is right. There's different levels to this forgiveness thing when you're talking about relationships, when with your parents. It depends on that emotional attachment you have with that person.
Sure, you had to forgive me for all the testing nights I put you through.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Listen, quick story. I know Telly ain't here, but quick story. I got a story for you. Me and Jimmy was talking the other day, and I had to tell Jimbo, like he mentioned something about him testing me, and I had to tell Jimbo he used to make me hot. You know what I mean? Like when I say hot, like pissed off. That I shouldn't even be pissed off. No, I used to. He don't do it to me no more. I look past that stuff.
I can see that happening.
But the seriousness of the story is that I had to forgive this man. This man ain't trying to hurt me. You know what I'm saying? This man ain't trying to bring me down. If anything, he's trying to uplift me. He's trying to correct me on something I'm doing wrong. So I forgave him for all that mess he was doing. You know what I'm saying? So like back to what Stokes said, man, it's levels to it. I think it is levels to it. I think it's different within your spouse and your relationships with your parents and also, your friends around you. So we tagging over Mike all morning, man.
Well, I was just saying, so we talking about forgiveness. I forgive Coach and Jimmy for that nonsense that one day, and we're gonna leave it at that.
I have no idea what you talking about.
He talking about what's the boy name?
I can't
the police. The
police officer.
Coach A.
Officer Tatum.
That Coach A dropped in there at 6 o'clock in the morning. And next thing you had 14 hours of mayhem in that morning. Forgive both of y'all for that.
Thinking about that. Oh my gosh. That's not true forgiveness is when you think about that situation, if you don't have no emotion or anything towards
true forgiveness is me laughing about it instead of calling you names.
Yeah, we know what's under that laugh.
So pass the ball. Talk to us.
I couldn't hear the question. Like my volume is really low, but
Okay.
What's the question?
All right. The question is, what does forgiveness look like in a few aspects? In the aspect of parents and children, in the aspect of just friendships, and in the aspect of husband and wives, whatever one you want to tackle, all three or one or whatever.
Okay, so I kind of fall in all three of those categories. I've been married 19 years, so forgiveness is an ongoing thing on both of our parts. So I don't always do the right thing or say the right thing, and I'm not always the best husband and stuff like that. So my wife has to learn how to forgive me for my foolishness, and then I know that her intentions and her intent is not to hurt me, except the one time that it was that she said something that she knew that she was doing wrong. But we're not even gonna talk about it. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But you have to learn how to let it go. The moment you can talk about it and it brings no emotions into it, that's when you know that you're free. As far as like with my son, I have to go to him and ask for forgiveness a lot because as the parent, I'm not always right. And so I might say something or do something. I might come at him sideways. And he'd be like, Dad, this is what I meant, or this is how it was. And so I got to ask forgiveness for him. So he's not harboring anything against me. So when I really have to tell him some real man stuff, that he's not even paying attention because he's holding the offense that I did to him. And as far as with my friends, if you my friend, you in my circle, I understand that your intentions wasn't to hurt me. Like I said, it was an intent to hurt. I mean, you may have did it, but if you're not in my friend circle like that, and you did something, I mean, I ain't got to deal with you. I just cut you off and keep it moving. But overall, I think that forgiveness is just being able to share without taking you back to the space like it just happened yesterday. And when you're able to do that, that's when you know that you're in a good spot with that particular, whatever that situation is.
So so I'll go next and then go down the line. Nick and Adrian. So to what Keena said, she exactly hit on what I was going to talk about. As a parent and a child, parents were married throughout elementary. They got divorced, and I really looked at my dad like I was mad at that joker, you know, growing up as a young man in the 5th grade, because I'm like, dang, we not living together no more because, you know, you ain't want to act right. You know, I ain't gonna put all this business out there, but you know, I was, and I became angry. You know what I'm saying? I came angry at anybody who thought they had any form of authority. You know what I'm saying? Plus him, and I began to act that out in school, and I got in a lot of trouble. But as I grew up and I got into college, began to talk to me and my dad, started developing a great relationship. Our relationship is awesome now, thank God. But as he began to tell me, and I began to learn about more of our family history, about how things worked out with his dad and his granddad and his great granddad, it was all a pattern. You know what I'm saying? It was all a pattern of got divorced and they was doing this and got divorced and they was doing this and got divorced and they was doing this and got divorced. And then I'm like, dang, I'm like, this is all, you know, he was really doing the best that he could. You know what I'm saying? And God put that in my spirit, and that helped me release that from myself as well. Like, he really was doing the best that he knew, literally to the T. And you know, I would say I guess I would say I forgave myself more than him, because, you know, I was the one that was mad. I was the one that was angry. And, you know, and like I said, we developed a great relationship after that. So that'd be my part about parent and child. Nick.
Honestly, I think forgiveness all around the board with every situation is the same. I think it's one of those things where, you know, 5 plus 5 is 10, but there's different ways to get to 10. So like I say, with me and my wife, I had to forgive in that. And we still learning each other, and we still evolving each other as the days go on. So with family members, like Brandon said, we done had talks. Me and Jim done had talks, and it's just one of those things where you talk about it. You get everything out on the table, and when you get up from the table, that's where you clean it up and you throw the dishes away and you move on. And hopefully, you know, you don't be back in that situation. But you know, we all human. We ain't perfect, but that's how it goes for me.
Well, so for me, I mean, I agree with a lot of you guys. I mean, obviously, when you have different people, there's different type of emotions and stuff you have to get over. So it might be easier depending on the individual that you're talking to. But like Nick said, it's pretty much all the same. We all trying to get to the number 10. So there's different ways to get there. With me, I view it probably slightly, I don't know, slightly different than everybody else, because I have a high love for myself. And so once I understood that the health portion of it and the mental portion of it, and is more for yourself, because I have a lot more love for myself, and I choose not to let other people rent space in my head and in my heart. And so when I look at it, that's what my emotions is wrapped around now. So a lot of people emotions is wrapped around revenge or getting back. My emotions are now, because I'm older and I've learned, is wrapped around myself and understanding how do I keep myself healthy? How do I keep my relationships healthy? And so once you understand that, you automatically walk in forgiveness. Also, a big thing is you reap what you sow. And so it doesn't mean that you're going to reap back what if you when I say you reap what you sow, it doesn't matter if you're justified for doing it or not. It doesn't matter if somebody did something wrong and you feel angry and you have a right to be angry, or you feel like you have a right to be angry. Once you put that anger out there, those actions out there, those emotions out there, they're going to cash in. It's going to cash in. Either the seeds are going to turn into some type of behavior, and ultimately whatever you put out, you don't, if it's negative, it's going to have a negative impact on you. It's like Mr. Ball said that he wanted to shoot him in the hands and the knees, I think, or and he would end up in jail. He probably would have ended up in jail. He would have done some time or probation or whatever the situation would have been if he allowed those feelings and that thought to continue. And so that happens with all of us, that if we don't realize we reap what we sow, it doesn't matter if we feel like it's justified or not. Those seeds, those thoughts, that anger, that emotion is trying to turn into some type of behavior. And if you don't get rid of it, i.e. forgive and move on, then eventually it might cash in and you're going to find yourself in a worse situation, because after you do it, it's not going to change. You're still going to feel the pain that you feel before, but you're going to have stuff added to it as well.
Okay, so we kind of tackled two topics in there, because the next question was what were one or a few of your forgiveness experiences, and all of us pretty much gave something. So the next question: can you forgive someone for the unthinkable? I want to start off with Mr. Unhinged.
Oh gosh.
Hold on, and mind you, it is not the unthinkable.
Hold on.
Well, you know what we would say, the unthinkable.
No, I'm talking about his situation. His certain person.
There's a lot of unthinkables, right? And some people can be like, can you forgive somebody for Mr. Ball's experience, the whole, somebody killing his father. It's like he's right. That would be an entire process. That would probably take years. That would be a process that would take years and probably some therapy. There's other people's definition of like cheating. I think that for me, if you want to say cheating, I think that once I walk away from that relationship and find happiness somewhere else, then I'll probably be like, hey man, you ain't know no better. But like, understand this: if you rocking with one of my guys and you cheat, I'm gonna hate you forever. I want you to know that I'm gonna hate you forever. You know what I'm saying? I'd be more mad about my boys getting did dirty than they do. They be done found a place of peace about it. I ain't finding no peace.
He ain't lying. He ain't lying
at all. If I ever see you out, if I ever see that dude out, I'm batting him in their shit on game, bro. He's getting my boy dirty, and I'm mad at you about it. I don't like you forever.
Jody he'll knock your mailbox over here, whatever it takes. I'm telling you.
The trash can.
I'm taking your
check.
For
my boy.
I'm taking your check out your mailbox. It is up there if you do one of my boys dirty. I just want you to know. I got time, but the unthinkable, it's hard. It's hard. I think the problem is it's not going to be easy. It's hard. And to your question, Jimmy, with my situation, here's my biggest point of that, right? What Nick said was understanding the people that you're dealing with. And because I'm dealing with somebody who is in consistent denial, like I said, when you ask this person about the situation, they completely dodge all kind of accountability on it. So it makes it even harder because you can't even stand up and say you had any parts in anything. It is just like you. So when you're dealing with somebody who won't accept no accountability, I think that adds an extra strain on it. And then that comes to a place of like, I kind of got to forgive an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to forgive somebody when somebody's like, hey, bro, I messed up. That's my bad. Can you forgive me? That's like the easy part of forgiveness. But when you have somebody who is willing to stand 10 toes down on what they did, that is a level of forgiveness that it's like, man, now I gotta forgive you, and you can't even say, hey, bro, that was my bad. So, like,
but ain't that where they talk about, the hardest thing? Like, even though that person, standing 10 toes down on whatever he believe in, you can be like, all right, bro, you got it. I forgive you anyways, no matter what you think, and just leave the whole situation alone.
Yeah, but for me, it was because we had such a close relationship before everything popped off like that. And it was just like, I'm standing 10. Well, it wasn't even like I'm standing 10 toes down. It's like, well, I did this because I thought you did that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so you did me dirty because you thought I did you dirty? It's like, come on, bro. You didn't even have a conversation with me about it. So it's just like, it's it's one of the things. It's a process. It's a major process. It's something that you gotta just kind of work through. And some people might even say, "Well, you might have to resort to that good book."
So are you working through it?
I hang out with y'all guys all the time, so
he been preaching today. You ain't heard him?
Yeah,
it's something working in there. It's something
working. Hey, I've been hanging out with y'all. We plant them seeds were planted, huh?
Yep. They take the root.
Like I said, sometimes you gotta you might have to holler at Coach A or Jimmy or pass the ball for a verse or something. You know what I'm saying? Let me do a podcast so I can get a verse, because go back to that reference point. Let me need something.
So pass the ball. Let's go ahead and get you in there.
Damn, fighting over a tree.
Oh Lord.
So the unthinkable is there. So are you asking? The question is there anything that anybody could do to me that would make me not?
Well, your answer is no, because
right. Yeah. I mean, that was the extent. I think that yeah, it's kind of hard, because when you go to the extreme, when you go to the extreme and then you work your way backward, then everything else outside of the extreme. Everything else outside of the extreme is easier, because the bar has already been set at murder. You know what I mean? Like, everything else working up to that is a lot easier to deal with. So nah, there's nothing that nobody can do right now that will make me. Now I cut you off, and we ain't got to rock like that. But if you my man, you my family, you my people. I mean, life is too short for me to be holding a grudge. And like he said, I don't want you renting space in my head and my heart. I ain't got time for that. So, let's be healthy. If we can resolve it. If not, let's keep it moving. You go your separate way, I go my separate way, and we ain't gotta rock with each other. But yeah, it's hard. I mean, I don't know. I ain't got nothing that nobody can do that to make, unless you did something to my child. Now I might have to reconsider some of that. You know what I mean? Like, if you harm my child in any kind of way, I might have to drop that cloth and go straight to Peter and forgive you later. But other than that, nah.
B.
Man,
and I won't say I appreciate y'all inviting me in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate it.
Man, you can come on whenever you want.
Yeah, you are welcome anytime. Anything major to the extreme, man. I ain't had nobody murder nobody, so I'm one of those people, I can't talk something I ain't never been through. So I ain't had nobody murder nobody that close to me. I will say this. If anything happens to it, one thing I can say, I know, like Jody said earlier, it will be a process for me. I think the most prestigious thing for me is my heart. And if I'm letting you get close to my heart, and somehow you broke that, to me, that's big. You know what I'm saying? Because my heart is big. My heart is big for people. But if you break my heart, I think that's the biggest thing that I've been a part of. And I've had to forgive on the extent of new relationships, and that's the only thing I can really talk about. I've had to forgive on the extent of new relationships, and I can bring an example in my own relationship. My previous relationship wasn't good at all. You know what I'm saying? And I let a person to my heart, and it got broke. I went through a dark time. I think I've talked about this on the podcast before. I went through a very, very dark time. But with my fiance now, I couldn't bring none of that into my relationship now. So that's why I had to forgive the previous young lady I was with. So it's hard. It's a process. I can now say, even with me being with Sam for almost 4 years, I can now say I can talk about my last relationship and even talk to the person in my last relationship and not have an issue, not have a feeling about it, not have a care, not have a thought. I don't go back into those deep thoughts or that deep mindset, but it is a process. Forgiveness is definitely a process. And but you can heal from it. A lot of people don't think you can heal from things that happen to you, and that helps with the forgiveness process as well. It's healing from it. So I ain't never, like I said, I ain't never had nothing big or extreme happen, but the closest thing for me is when I let people close to my heart and they get broke. Okay. So that's my thing.
I would say for me, I haven't like nothing nowhere near past the ball.
Right. It's
you
hard,
know what I'm saying?
It's hard. Nothing near past the ball.
Yeah.
Very high bar.
So but I will say this. I also believe, and I know for a fact. Oh my God. I know for a fact because of who I serve, you know, the creator, the King of Kings, the I am. I could forgive for anything. You know what I'm saying? I know that for a fact. Because not based off of me, but because he said I could, because he said he already defeated that battle for me. So I know I can. It's just me submitting to him and his word and what he said. But yeah, man, I haven't experienced it, but I believe in my heart of hearts that I can do it. I know I can do it. You know, it's not even a question for me. So whatever it is.
I don't think you realize how deep that is, what you just said, because a lot of people, when they living in that moment, they think it's forever. It feel like it's forever. And for certain people who, like with us, who have faith and we know who God is and we know how strong and resilient God made us, because he told us that, you know, this is a season, you'll get through this. And so if you have a person that don't understand that, then it could be detrimental to them, because they think this is how I'm going to feel forever. It's never going to change. And then that's where you get depression comes in, and, you know, suicidal thoughts or murderous thoughts or any of those things. So with me, I remembered, you know, one of the a big thing that I had to forgiveness was being cheated on too. And, you know, and just at that time. And so in catching the person, and I just remember, like, you know, it was hard. You know, I remember, you know, because back in the, you know, way back when you had like the messengers, you communicated through messengers and emails and stuff like that. And I had the emails. I used to just read them like almost every day. Like, I can't believe this. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that. And you just had to work through it. You know, sometimes you just have to work. I don't know what it is, man. You just keep doing it to ourselves, just thinking about that, or just, but, you know, but finally I just came to a point where I was like, forget it. I'm going to do it myself.
Take that down.
Hey, before you go on, listen, if anybody is close friends with Michael Stokes, if you don't want him to hate the people that you may potentially forgive, don't tell him about your situation.
Don't tell me shit, because it's up there from the moment you tell me. All you got to, hey, they cheated. Oh, I hate that motherfucker forever.
Don't tell it.
Hey, when B opened up to me one day, B had me hot. I'm walking up and down the block pacing. I'm mad as hell. I was like, you gave her your trust, your heart, and she was paying you like this? This ungrateful. I was so mad. I
had to tell bro, I was like, bro, I'm over it now. You don't have to be you better than me right now.
But just to let you know, though, if you think your spouse or significant other is cheating on you, you need somebody to investigate and find out for you, he'll definitely do that for you.
He sure will. He sure will.
Oh, Jesus.
And this is brought to you by Family Talk. Let's discuss.
Sponsored by Rapid Returns.
Nick, talk to us, bro.
The extreme, like Brandon said, I can't speak on the extreme because I don't want to say, you know, I'm a forgive or I'm not gonna retaliate, just because I'm human and I don't know what I would do if the extreme ever happened. I would like to sit here and say, you know, I would forgive and forget, or not want to do anything. But like I said, that extreme hasn't happened. But I think,
thank God,
like I said, I would like to say that I would forgive and forget.
Okay,
that's where it starts. That's where it starts, by telling yourself that, for sure.
If it has anything to do with them kids, because you know Uncle Jody, I'm certified Uncle Jody. If it got anything to do with the kids, you let me know. I'll work on the forgiveness.
Hey, my daughters told me one day before we move on to Coach A, my daughters told me that that the people were driving them around one day without the AC on. I said, excuse me? Listen, I almost made some calls. I'm about to say we finna go and terrorize this school, boy, every single day. We just gonna go and start clearing the desk off. I know they ain't godly, Lord forgive me, but that was the thought that was in my mind. I'm about to go in there and tear up everybody's room and just leave. Like, don't let that job happen again.
Hey, let me know if you need to hold something, Jimmy.
You got one.
You might need another one.
Hey, I'm gonna need a lot more. You know, God bless my sweet babies, man. Coach, what you got for us, Coach? You got something fun for us?
Yeah, just on the lighter note, you know what I'm saying? We went through that serious talk, so let people line up a little bit. Check this out.
I'm on vacation. If you don't like your life, then you should go and change it. You play too much. Every single day, 'cause I love
my kids is older. I remember I taught, you know, all my kids at public school. There you go. Like, whoa, Mr. Who Made It, baby.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Better late than never.
I feel you.
And we forgive you for that.
I know, but this show is about forgiveness.
We forgive. So you forgive your first baby mama or not?
No. Anyway,
we done moved on. So listen, guys, listen. Teaching. First of all, you know, when everybody got their license at a younger age, right? What is the strangest thing you've hit or ran into when you was an inexperienced driver?
Nothing. Thank God.
I got something for you.
I had a couple squirrels.
Yeah.
So,
squirrels?
I don't even know if you remember this, Brandon. We was cleaning the church where my mom worked at.
Oh, yeah.
My mom told me to go ahead and get the car, bring it around. I think we had to be in middle school around this time. And so, you know, the little, you park and they got the little
parking cement things.
Yeah. So, I don't know what I was thinking, but I put that bad boy in drive, and I ran over the first one, and then it was another one right in front of it. And I ran over that one too. Everybody was like, "Why you ain't just back up after you hit the first one?" I said, "I don't know, but that whole bottom had to be towed up."
Hey, well, Nick went over the thing. What are you doing? Nick went over the little thing. Why you ain't just back up? Nick was like, I was already in motion. I was already in motion.
I was already committed.
You know what? I do got a story. I was going back. I was leaving Bradenton, going back to Miami for college, and I left. It was like 2-3 in the morning. I took some back roads somewhere. Hey, RIP to the coon that I ran over. I hope his life was good, but
you tore that body up, boy.
Sure did, boy.
I hit a coon before too, man.
Okay, all right. I got one. So I'm like Jimmy. I was on some late night creep stuff down 301. This is before they started doing all that new construction. So it's dark, right? And I thought it was a bag of trash, right? So I'm riding, and the next thing you know, I ride past, and then all of a sudden the trash bag dispersed. And I was like, and I heard thump. And so, but I'm on the dark road, so I ain't stopping. So when I finally got like to my destination, I go in there and look, and it's a freaking buzzard vulture in like the front hood of my car.
Oh,
I was like, dang.
Like an emblem.
Like it was stuck. Like, you know how you got the grill and then the radiator? You know what I'm saying? It was stuck, right? And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? What made me stop right before my destination? Because, you know, I'm always watching my needle for my heater, and it went past the halfway point. It didn't get up high, but it went past the halfway point, and that's strange. It never moves. And so when I stopped, I looked, and he popped in it, and I hit it. It broke the grill, and it popped the little hole like right in the radiator. So I ended up having. Luckily, they was able to fix it with like a little thing, whatever, and patch the radiator, so I was good. But yeah, I ended up hitting that when I was like 21.
Any of y'all ever hit those?
I hit a guardrail.
The yellow things. Oh, dang, a guardrail.
Fell asleep coming from DC. Me and my man was coming from DC. We rolling down 95 South, and I dozed off. He sleep, and then I'm like, all right, I'm good. And then next thing you know, I'm asleep, and then I hit the guardrail hard too, like, and it was like if I would have missed the guardrail, it was a wrap for us because we just go right over to the whatever was down there. But hit the guardrail and rode that thing all the way down the guardrail and tore the whole. It was a rental car that wasn't even in my name. It was in a dude who rented it for us. He was like, yo, yeah, y'all good. I'll rent it for y'all because neither one of us had a credit card. And man, I felt so bad because, then I started ghosting him. You know what I'm saying? Like he wants some bread. And I was like, I ain't got no money. So, you on your own on that one. But yeah, I hit a guardrail.
Yeah. So in the gas station, they used to have those. I don't know if they still do the little yellow
the pillars
that used to be in there. And I remember I used to hit a few of them trying to turn out in them things. But one time, this was about when I first moved to Florida, like 2003, 2004. I started working for the detention center. And so part of our responsibility, we had to take kids to court. And so if you ever been, in detention, or work with the detention center, when you go to Sarasota court, it's like going into a cave. The thing come up and you got to go into this little way, and then not the drawer, but the what do you call it? Garage door come up. It's a garage door that come up. So you come up and drop the kids off. So my partner was driving and she came in, and when she came in, it's just a loop. So she had the thing turned all the way, the wheel turned all the way to the left. We dropped the kids off. They went to court. We get back in the van and we go to leave. And she's like, oh, you want to drive back? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll drive back. And so when I got in there, I didn't realize that the steering wheel was completely turned. And so when we came out, I scraped the whole side of the wall. Like I couldn't even stop. Like I just went, like in fact, it was so bad. When you look at the van, it looked like a velociraptor tried to get into it. Like it was just man.
They took it out your pay?
No, nope.
Don't mess with my paycheck.
Don't mess with my paycheck.
Hey, but you better write that shit in the incident report, not touch my paycheck.
That's exactly what I did, yeah.
Hey, so
that's what insurance is for.
Hey, I remember one time, right? My boy was trying to holler at this chick at the gas station, right? And he had opened the door for her, and Shorty didn't even say thank you, but he was still trying to throw his game down, right? And she just kind of blew him off like, boy, bye, all that crap, right? And so she got in her car and dipped out, right? What she didn't know was she still had the gas thing in her car. Right, here's the thing, right? So she pulled off with the gas thing in her car, right? And that boy whipped around and hit the back of her windshield. And it just said, crap, right across the back of the screen. And I was like, damn, that's what you get for being rude. Because we showing them would have been like, hey, Shorty, you still got a gas pump in your car.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So all right. So listen, that was a good conversation was good. I know we could have went deeper, but maybe we could follow up with a part 2, and maybe Telly could be on a part 2. Because listen, we sure would have loved some of your stories. Listen, I got a story. I got something I want to tell y'all.
Let me tell you something.
I remember this one time.
I ain't got nothing interesting. Mine is all tragic.
Lord Jesus,
but look at how you turned out, though. You turned out all right, bro.
Amazing man.
Oh well, I appreciate it, man. I'm still have some more amazing to go. So
amazing. Yeah. So listen, hey, is everybody happy with their fantasy picks?
Oh man,
Hey, first off, y'all saw Josh Allen put up 102.5.
Yeah, man, that dude was.
First off, you remember Brandon said he was a one-hit wonder and overrated.
And I was wrong.
I was wrong.
Hey, look, hey, this is a disclaimer to the ladies. We are talking about sports right now.
Crease corner.
Mine's is rough, man. I had 2 Rams play and I got 8 points, almost 9. That ain't gonna be enough to beat Jimmy, man. They need to kick it in tomorrow.
I sure do.
Cooper did okay. He did okay, but I was a little
Cooper did
worried.
fantastic.
Cooper did a fantastic job.
Yeah, but
catches
just thinking they don't have anything. They don't have anything. Well, going up against the Bills too, so he should be able to have a great season, you would think. But I think people are gonna game plan. They're gonna see what the Bills did. They're gonna shut that down.
But the Bills did shut it down though.
The Bills defense went bananas.
Yards is because Matthew Stafford kept getting sacked.
And 3 picks, man. That Bill defense.
Yeah.
Hey, they gave you 31.
But check this out though.
Boys.
Listen, check this out. We love talking sports, but listen, if any of y'all want to hear more about sports, make sure y'all check out the End Game podcast Sundays. Nick, stop.
Nice plug.
Sundays at 8. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, 8, 7 my time, 8 your time. Tomorrow,
Sundays, 8 p.m. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, and so forth and so on.
Why you got Wilder on there? Didn't he lose?
Excuse you. Watch him out. Hey, but check this out. Cree is not here.
We rock with
Creesha
winners.
is not here.
Hey,
Shouts out to her.
Creesha not here, but we still finna put her up like.
And my Creesha impression. Hello, guys. Welcome to Cree's Corner. Yo, she gonna kill me when she see this. Listen, y'all got my back, right?
We got you, dog. I got you.
I'm staying out of grown people business.
For once.
For once, yeah. Any other time he'll have your back. He'd be like, "Hey, I'm about to go get him." But listen, today's on Creed's Corner. I got something on my heart that I want to talk about, and it's really simple. We're gonna try to make this sweet, smooth, as quick as possible. Have you ever heard of the phrase "You are what you eat"? I'm pretty sure everybody has. We hear this phrase from so many people that's inside trainers and workout warriors and sports players and nutritionists and people that has any business to do with your body, whatever the case is. The statement is true. You are what you eat. But the statement it also applies to many different things. You are what you eat spiritually. You are what you eat when it comes to those things, mental, finances, and things of the heart. Of course, your physical body, and as we talked about today, forgiveness. I'm a firm believer is you will have what you build. You will have what you feed. So if you feeding and you keep telling yourself that I'm going to forgive, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, you keep telling yourself that, and the actions follow it, you will do those very things. But if you continue with the gossiping and the lying and the cheating and so many things, and being sneaky and all this stuff, listen, you are what you eat. That will become a part of you. And when you talk about the body, we all know that our skin is one of our biggest organs. And listen, we got to take care of it. We have to take care of our spirit, man. We have to begin to everybody believes in something different, but you gotta pray, you gotta feed your spirit, man. You gotta build him up. You gotta make sure that we do the mental health checks every single day. You have to make sure that you get some quiet time with yourself and make sure that your mind is right. Make sure you're around people that's gonna build you up and encourage you, but also challenge you. And make sure you got somebody like Coach A. You got somebody that can help you out with your finances. Make sure you got somebody like that around so that you can help. You can get help if you're lacking in those areas. And also that's why, the Holy Scriptures tell us, iron sharpens iron just as a man sharpens another man. That's our goal. That's what we're supposed to do. But that's something that I would love for all of you guys to ask yourselves every moment throughout the day. When you wake up, when you leave, you get some quiet time in the car, ask yourself, what am I feeding myself today? What am I feeding myself every moment throughout this day? And what am I building? What are you building in your heart? What are you building in your mind? What are you building with your body? What are you building? So forth and so on. So let's just remember that. Continue to ask yourself that question to help hold yourself accountable. That's the key. That's one of the keys of life, a great principle. You want to hold yourself accountable. And lastly, I got something that I want to show y'all. GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. So as we exit this beautiful podcast that we just did today, I'm gonna come to you. I got you. You want to go now?
No, go ahead. Finish it.
Oh, okay. Listen, garbage in, garbage out. You put garbage in, you're gonna get garbage out. You put blessings in, you're gonna get blessings out. You put encouragement in, you're gonna get encouragement out. You put love in, you're gonna get love out. And expect nothing less. Expect nothing less. Have your standard, stick to your standard. Us that serve, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we live off of his standard, and we won't accept anything less as well. Thank y'all. I hope Creesha is proud with Creesha's Corner.
Amazing job.
Hey, I got a question. So if I take a hamburger bun, put $100 bills, put some ketchup mustard on, and I eat it, will I get $100 back?
No, well, your poop might be a little green.
For one, that's
you gonna get it back, not the same way you ate it, but you gonna get it back.
Hey, before we let out, man, I just want to send a big birthday shout out to my man Elijah today. My guy turned 13 today. My man's is growing up.
Happy birthday!
Shout out to my guy Elijah. He is a little bit under the weather today, so he is laying down and stuff like that. But we're gonna celebrate his birthday anyway. So happy birthday to my man's. I love you, bro.
Happy birthday, EJ from Uncle Jimbo.
Turn up.
Hey, but listen, thank y'all for happy birthday to our guy Elijah. Thank y'all for joining us. Thank you, Pastor Ball. Everybody in the comments, we appreciate it. And listen, we love y'all. We love it. Share, like, subscribe. Yes, Jimmy,
sir. I got something I want to throw in there right quick. You know what I'm saying? Just because we a podcast of the people. Just can we show some respect to the Queen?
I think you already answered that.
Yeah, I think you did.
Miss Tony, I tell you what, we will show respect to the Queen. We will definitely show respect to the Queen right here.
Tell them I ain't mad if they know. You know I ain't mad if you love it. Can't nobody ever take this moment from me. So we go while I got it, the fuck it, it's all good.